Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Astro Colony with Lone Debater 7. And today, we're going to be taking a look at expanding our little space station here. So last time, we went ahead and got our drills and logistics set up to harvest the resources from our little planetoids out here. I went ahead and finished mining out all of the iron. The copper over here is almost done. The coal over here is almost done. The copper over there still has a little bit. So basically, it feeds into this box, goes into this box, yada yada. If you want to see how that was all set up and kind of how we configured it, there should be in the upper right-hand corner about now, or maybe in a little bit, a link to the playlist for this series, so you can check out the episode. Be sure to subscribe and like the video while or subscribe and hit the bell icon while you're down there. That way you get notified every single time I upload to this series if you want to follow along. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into it. So since last time, I basically have generated a few resources, kind of let things tick over and process through. So we've processed through quite a bit of iron and copper. Right now it's working through the stacks of copper from those two planetoids. It's already worked through all the iron. Sorry about that. It's already worked through the iron for the most part. Like, this is the last little bit of iron, I think. Yeah, and now it's just going to work through copper. So totally fine. We're still getting iron and stuff from the asteroids we're harvesting, as well as gold and all the other goodies. But yeah, so I want to take a look at the technology tree first, because there's a couple things I want to get before we start building out the base. And this is mainly so we can build the base the way we want. So in order to build the base we want, I actually want to go up a level or two onto a platform. So in order to do that, we need to get vertical construction. So to unlock vertical construction, we need to get human migration for 8, basic science, and then vertical for 15 and 15. Easy enough. Now we got both. Getting human migration, we'll put this little timer up here. If we were to have a dock and pay some gold, we would get an astronaut when this timer hits 0. We're not dealing with that right now, so don't worry about this. If you don't have a dock set up, and if you haven't paid the gold, even if you do have a dock set up, you won't get anyone when the timer ticks over. So you can get this technology at any time, but you won't start receiving astronauts until you get this technology right here. Okay, moving on. We also are going to need manufacturing and parts, because I believe we need gears in order to build these. Yeah, we sure do. So we need these two. And while we're here, I'm also just going to grab solar energy because we can, because that allows us to build solar panels. Okay, so we just unlocked quite a bit of stuff. Or not that much, but decent chunk. We spent all of our engineering science, basically, which is amazing to me. I'm going to go ahead and grab hydration real quick, because might as well. That gives us hydrotonic, dining stand, and the canteen. This is how you feed your astronauts, or these two items. This is a food for your astronauts, basic stuff. But it only costs basic science, that's why I got it, because we could afford it. Alright, that's enough the tech tree. So, kind of what I'm thinking. As the base stands right now, we've got fully automated production of resources, so we're gathering all the resources, well, all the basic resources, I should say. We're processing them into ingots, we're processing them into water, and we're turning them into power. Totally fine, totally fine. I also added in this hydro generator so we can get a little bit of hydrogen tanks from some of our carbon ore. It also makes hydrotonic, not a big deal. I set that up off cam. I also off cam put this output belt in that takes the bars and puts them back in the storage, just so we have them all in one spot. That puts, if you have items stored inside of here, it will add to the total up here. If they're just inside of a machine, it will not add to the total. So that's why I wanted to do that, just so I could keep track of how much of each of the resources we've got available to us. So yeah, anyway, what I want to do is kind of take this automation and scale it to the next level. So we have a big box of ingots sitting here, and we know that these ingots can be processed further. So for example, iron could be turned into iron plates, copper in theory could be turned into copper wire, and gold should be turned into gold plates and then gold wire. Should be turned into, or can be turned into gold plates. So we can turn all these ingots into plates, right? So why aren't we doing that? Well, we just haven't built the automation loop. We know that we can build the plates in the constructor, so that's easy enough. We also can build screws and electronic parts in the constructor. Okay, good to know. I think I want to make a few more rods, actually. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of carbon. Not all the carbon. I actually just wanted to split off like 60. And throw that in so we can get a few rods as well, because we need them for the gears. But okay, let that go for a minute while we keep talking. So we've got our ingot production automated, and it's going into this box. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4 different output points that we could pull from if we wanted to. So in theory, we could pull out the resources from this box and do further production off of these items right here. So I think we're going to do that. Now what I am planning as far as that is concerned is I am going to expand out this little platform right here. We're just going to delete these so we can just put floors instead and kind of make it squared. Just makes it easier to build off of. Gives us a tiny bit more room, not really. Alright, so we've got this. Easy enough to understand. We've got vertical construction. We are going to need... or the rods are going in there. Let's go ahead and start building some of these screws. Let's throw all those in. It's fine. We do need a manufacturer. So that's why we needed manufacturing, because we need the manufacturer right here. And we're going to set this up on an automated loop as well. For now, I'm just going to stick it somewhere so we can use it in the time being. I went ahead and removed that little viewing platform that was up here. That's where this space came from. Getting the... just show you which text. So getting floor support allows you to remove the railing, and getting foundations allows you to remove the bigger blocks that are underneath the railing up here. So that's how I was able to do that, in case you were wondering. Okay, so the manufacturer will take plates and turn them into wire. It'll also take screws and turn them into gears. So if I take... this is why I have all these copper plates, because I knew that I could turn them into wire eventually, and that's what I was waiting for. Because it's better ratio than handcrafting the wire from ingots, so we should end up with a ton, like over 300 wire in here. So that's awesome. Also going to put the gold plates in there so we can start getting some gold wire, because it takes 3 gold wire to make each solar panel. So I should have enough plates in here to make quite a few. I don't think it's quite 20 full solar panels, but it's close. So, I mean, that's a fair amount of gold. Like, that's almost 50 ingots of gold, and it's not even 20 power. It's not even enough power to supplant all of these generators over there. Just bear that in mind. Okay, so we'll grab these rods. We've got some screws. We'll wait for this one to tick over, then we'll go put them in, start converting them to gears. But these machines, so the constructor and the manufacturer, can be automated utilizing the ingots inside this box. So basically what we're wanting to do is take from this edge right here, I want to build up a level or two, like go up a little bit so there's some height difference, and build out a platform and kind of build some automation utilizing the constructor and manufacturer to convert some of this basic material that we've got into some of the more advanced materials that we utilize to build the buildings. That's the thought. I don't know how well it's going to work. We'll kind of play it by ear, but I'm excited to do it nonetheless. Now, I think we can start probably with 10. That's probably enough. In order to actually build up a level, you go to your Floors tab, and you've got these height extenders down here. So you can pick any of these, and it'll allow you to increase the height by 1. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use these metal pillars. Kind of like the look of those. Yeah, they look kind of good. I don't know. And I think we're going to go up 4 levels? Yeah, let's go up 4 levels. As far as the floor is concerned, we can kind of pick what we want. I'm kind of thinking... I mean, I kind of like that floor. We could do it with glass so you can see underneath it. That'd be kind of cool. I think we'll just go with this one. What does that look like? Ah, that's decent. Alright, sure. Why not? We'll go with that one. I'm just building this out first. So what I like to do is build out 4. And then you do that. I'm going to break those. I'm going to take these, and we're going to go out right here and do the same thing. Don't need that. Because basically what we're going to do is use this gap in front as the staircase area. So if we go to paths, you can find your staircases. There's a few different options. I kind of like these ones. I think we're going to use these ones. So if I take these, go up, boom. No. If we were to have an astronaut needing to go up there, they can go up there. Same thing with the robots and stuff. They can utilize stairs to go up height difference. If nothing else, it also makes it look a little bit better in my opinion. So I'm going to put 2 in the middle, 1 on either side. Boom. Oh, am I off center? I am off center. Dang it. So there's that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, all right, we'll just do that. There's 3 of them. Cool. Decent start to a little platform. All right. From this platform, I think we're going to extend it out. Well, how wide is this, actually? So 11 blocks. So let's go ahead and add on another 9. So that's an 11 by 10. Decent chunk of space. I think we'll do another 11 by 10. Like that, just to give it some more depth. And we could even go all the way to the end if we wanted to. I don't know that we need that much space, though. So let's start with that and kind of go from there. If we need more room, we'll make more room. Ooh, the only thing is this is kind of clashing here now, huh? Let's not extend it that way. Let's actually extend it this way. Another 10 tiles, so cool. And that is quite a large platform to work with. I think that will be enough room for what I'm kind of trying to do. So let's see, this guy has some more screws for us. We'll go ahead and put them in here. It's good having some gears on hand, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But we'll do that. I am going to remove... Well, how many... Oh, wow. We have, like, no plates. Let's go ahead and put 80 of these in here. And make some more plates in the meantime. And kind of plan this out. So this is going to take iron, copper, gold, iron rods, and it can take copper wire if we want. Let's just focus on these 3, I think, to start. And then we'll maybe set something up for iron rods into screws later. We don't need a whole bunch of screws, I don't think. It might be good to set up iron rod production, but screws I don't think we need. So we will focus on iron, copper, and gold into plates. And then I guess we'll send copper and gold plates into a manufacturer. We'll probably just store the iron plates. So yeah, let's do that. And then I guess since we'll be turning copper bars into plates and into wire, we could probably then just pass it on to electronic parts. So the plates take 4, 4, and 8 to convert into 2, 2, and 1. These take 6 seconds to do each one, so I think that's fine. We can do 1-to-1 ratio on that. Going to these, however, takes 3 wire to make one of these every 12 seconds, and each plate gives you 2 wire. Okay, so in order to make one, we need to process 2. So we get 2 plates for each ingot. So each ingot will make one of these, or a little bit more than one of these, once it's fully processed, because 1 ingot gives us 2 plates after 4 seconds. And then after another 12 seconds, we'll have 4 wire, which will allow us to make one of these after 12 seconds. So really, if we had 2 of these making copper wire, to feed one of these making electronic parts, that might be better. So maybe we'll specialize that out. I think we'll try to specialize that out. So let's start laying some stuff out, huh? Shall we? So to begin with, we're going to be bringing stuff in right here is the plan. So I think, where are we going to try to bring it in? I guess we'll probably try to bring it in right there. So let's just go ahead and set that up right now. And obviously, there are transport tubes in this game, which are significantly better than the conveyor belts at moving stuff vertically, because you can do it in one tile as opposed to like however many it takes to make the ramp. But good enough for me on this. So there we go. We've got our output into the box. So that's established, easy peasy. Now we know everything that we're outputting from the machines needs to end up on this belt eventually. So we could just plop this machine like that. I mean, the input is going to go right there. So what we could do, we're going to end up bringing it up this way. So let's just bring it up. Then I think we bring it flat, bring it over to where we want it. Let's see. It's already at height 1, so then we go to height 2. Do something like that, and then it'll input directly into this machine. And we'll turn all of these on. We're not going to utilize all of these. Okay? So just bear that in mind. We're just going to utilize these 3. Now, the only problem I see with this potentially is it's going to just do all of one and none of the others. And the other potential issue is we're not going to have any ingots, and we might need ingots for something, right? So maybe what I will do, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we'll take a little storage container. We'll put this off right here. Or, well, it has to come off of this belt. So we'll actually throw this right there. Yeah, sure. Why not? And what we'll do, we're going to end up splitting this. So let's go ahead and get the logic figured out. So logic blocks, we're going to take a splitter. We're going to put this there. And we're going to 50% all of these bars. That way we don't spend absolutely everything. And actually what we'll do is we won't even specify resource. Anything that comes out of this box to go into the secondary processing facility is going to be split 50 and put into this storage container. That way we still have some bars left over or some rods or whatever we're trying to process further in the constructor left over afterwards. So we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and get this part set up because that's easy enough. That'll feed back down into there. Or well, do we want it to feed back down into there? Because we're actually going to utilize those for further processing, right? So let's actually do this. We're going to send... So we really only need copper and gold to go further on. Because we're not converting the iron plates into wire. So what we'll do is just say specify copper and gold plates. Continue on this way. And then we'll take another filter and specify iron plates. Go back to the box. Then... let's just go ahead and place power for a placeholder. I'm going to run power underneath the floor. I'll show you how you can do that. Because it's actually quite cool. Oh, I guess we could also put electronic parts on here. Or because we're probably just going to produce a few electronic parts in here, because we'll make those copper plates into cables, and we'll probably do a split as well off of this, or off of the copper cables, so we can keep some of them. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. I would just split directly back into the box off of this point, but the problem is it will then just pass back through the loop. So eventually, it basically puts a half-life cycle on all of the resources that are being exported. So it doesn't quite work the way that I'd want. So that's why I'm not doing it that way. Just FYI. There's that. Let's go ahead and get this started, see if it works, kind of. Come on. There we go. So it's exporting bars. The bars go split. So half go that way, half go the other way. I need to turn off the front half because there's nowhere to go in front. So those split. So half are going into the storage container so we can grab them later if we need. And then the other half are going to go up here. Oh, will those not feed in because this doesn't have power? Interesting. So let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in. Right there. Awesome. Reason why I'm doing this is you can actually run the cables under the floor. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is actually kind of like a little life hack for you if you are new to the game. I'm going to go under this pillar. I'm going to go out one block. I'm going to delete this because it looks kind of tacky in my opinion. And we're just going to bring out a little rampy boy right there. And what I can do, take this wire, run it behind. Take this wire, run it behind. We're going to delete this one because nothing can go there. And we can place solar panels along this ridge, and that will provide the power that we need to run our machines. So that's 10 solar panels. We only need 4 right now, so that's more than enough power. Ah, dang it. So this is not importing. So what that means is we actually need to bring it up one earlier, which is fine. I wasn't sure exactly how the conveyor belt stuff works when you're doing the elevation, but there we go. That seems to work better. Likes that nice. Perfect. Perfect. That's all we needed. So now this is making iron plates for us. Those are being sent back down to the box. Let's go ahead and get the next piece of our puzzle put together, which is going to be the manufacturer. So let's see. This imports from the side and out. I mean, we could just, like, straight up do that. Maybe what we'll do, let's actually have a couple of these. So we'll have 1 and 2 right there. Or, well, I blocked the power, huh? That was dumb. I have 1 and 2 like that. So place 1 there, place 1 there. Go underneath, connect them. Okay. Okay, so those are plugged in. Yeah, we'll need a few more panels. Kind of figured, but that should be enough. And I'm actually going to add one more machine, so let's just do this. Let's just fill out the row. Boom. Okay. That should be enough to add one more manufacturer, which is exactly what we're going to do. Maybe we'll move that. Actually, you know what? That'll work. That'll work. So, okay. What I'm thinking here, this one here is going to be dedicated to going back to the box. These two here are going to be dedicated to supplying this with wire to make electronic parts. So realistically, these ones only need to do the copper recipe. This one needs to do all recipes. So what we're going to try to do here is get some clever logic set up. So we're going to take our splitter. We're going to put a splitter there. We're going to put a splitter there. This one is going to have 0 on the side, and it's going to have 2 going forward. This one is going to have 1 going forward, 1 going to the left, 0 going to the right. And then the final one will just be directly in. So that should work. Boom. Oh, something I should specify on this is copper plates on the split. And this one, copper plates on the split. So what this is going to do is it's going to ensure that only copper plates go into these two. This one gets a third of the copper plates to produce wire to send back home, and it gets the gold plates that come through as well. So that's how this is going to work, or in theory, that's how I want it to work. We'll see if I set it up right. I think I did. It seems like it's going to do what I want. The only thing I could add, just to ensure that none goes in there, is I could put a blocker, but I don't think I need to do that. It should work the way it's supposed to. I'm just going to do that to place the cable, because for whatever reason I could not find that hitbox. Cool. Alright, everything's powered. We have actually the exactly perfect amount of solar panels. I still need to do this bit, so do that bit. So basically the way this is going to work, it's all enabled. This guy's going to make our ingots into plates, or half of our ingots will be turned into plates by this machine. Okay, easy to understand. From this machine, we're going to put our iron plates back into the box because we use those to build with all the time, so we need a big supply of them. We're going to take half of our ingots, put it into this box because we still need ingots. Not everything needs to be a plate, so this allows for that to happen. Moving down the line, the gold and copper plates will come out of this export, or out of this point, go down the line. A third of the copper plates will go into this manufacturer, a third will go into this one, and a third will go into this one. These two will make copper wire that goes directly into here. This one will take all of the gold plates and a third of the copper plates and convert both into gold wire and copper wire. And those will be exported back into the box. I just have to connect that up. So let's do it. Pretty easy. Just do this. And I'm going to put it on at the end. Why not? And there we go. So I think that is stage 2 resource manufacturing complete. I mean, in theory, we could extend this further and try to get, iron, steel screws and gears automated. That is a thing that we could look at trying to do. I'm not too worried about that, though. We don't need a whole large chunk of those at any given time, at least not at this point. So if that changes and we need more, then we will adjust our layout. But until that point, I'm just going to leave it as is, honestly. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how I kind of deal with this portion of the drills, because when it starts chunking out, it can get kind of difficult to find a spot to place these. So what you do is you just place a little bit of floor for a platform, and then you can place it where you want it to be placed. I'm going to break these. Not that one, though. Grab this. Rotate that the way it's supposed to be. And did I grab any carbon? I didn't. We'll mine out a little bit by hand just to fill this. Actually, why am I doing that? I probably have some in here. Grab like 20. Sure, why not? Probably enough. Probably enough. We'll move this one. Oh, Why is this not going? Weird. Okay, well this one finished mining, so we'll have to move that in a minute. I think this one did too. Yep. Yep. Okay. So, grab some floors. And I mean, it's not like I really need this copper, you know? I'm just more thinking, well, if I grab this stuff now, I can potentially, convert this into something different later because there won't be a resource block in the way. They're kind of a pain in the butt to remove. You can remove them and mine them yourself, but it's easier to do it with a drill because it does it passively. So there we go. Get that going. So we'll get some more copper pumped in here. Not that we need it. We have a ton of copper at the moment, but yeah. So as we can see, so the copper plates are going. We've got some copper wires in here going into here. Yeah, we're starting to get electronic parts. Look at us. We are so advanced. So advanced. Yeah. Now, I'd love to get some advanced belts, but that is still a little ways off, I think. So we'll have to wait, but that's okay. Only problem with this is it is backing up this belt. So maybe what we should try to do, instead of putting it into this box, is we should actually build a dedicated storage for the slightly more advanced parts. So let's go ahead and do that instead. Just break that off for a momento. Can I actually stack these? No. Okay. I wasn't sure. We could build like a little platform down on this level. Put it there. We could also do something like this. Just use it as a storage, you know what I'm saying? Do we have some copper plates? We do. I need some copper plate. They're exporting as I'm clicking it. That's, yeah. So I get one every 2. That's alright. I think I only needed like 5 or 4. Yeah, I only needed 4. Cool. Yeah, let's just put the warehouse up here. We're not really going to export out of it, I don't think. So, yeah. Let's go ahead. We're going to need to delete these 2. These, we're going to need to rotate. Then this one, I'm going to rotate this way. Put it straight into the box, please. This one, I'm going to rotate that way. And we'll just store them in 2 different boxes. I mean, it's not the end of the world, really. We can store it in 2 boxes. So, I mean, I'll just throw some of these things in there. Now, this bar... Oh, shoot. Okay. We can actually store the buffer of materials in there, too, I suppose. Cool. So... there we go. I kind of like that. That works. So we've got our split bars are going in here. We've got our plates and our iron plates, our copper wire, and electronic parts going in there. We should get gold wire in there if we start processing gold. We just probably haven't unloaded gold yet, which is fine. Not a big deal. We still have quite a bit of copper to go through, which is the main resource because that's what gives you these guys right here. And we've got plenty of wire in there to produce those, so it maybe would make more sense, as opposed to having 2 to produce copper wire, to have 2 or 3 making just electronic parts. So we could look at that. I could build another, like if I extend this out, I could build another 2 constructors just making electronic parts. Let's actually do that. Why not? Might as well. I think I am quite confident we're going to need a fair amount of those, so let's see here. There is... We can extend out so we can feed that way, I guess. Then I think it's going to be easiest if I try to do it this way. Because then I can put one here and one above. Yeah, we'll try that. Shoot. This needs to go over one more. What if we did it this way? Output on the front. I mean, that would work. Yeah, let's just do that. We're going to have to add solar panels anyway, so let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, that's probably about right. We need 2 more. Whoops. Okay, now we've got power situated. Turn all these off. We're just going to do electronic parts. Electronic parts. We're going to turn electronic parts off on this one. Just delete that real quick. Okay, so from here, rotate those. They're actually going to travel this way. Now, we're going to try to put them in here, so this is going to have to raise, go flat, lower, go flat. Then we'll put a splitter. And we're just going to 50-50 split.